pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Alrighty. We will adopt agenda first. Can I have a motion to adopt the agenda? Petra is first, Naomi is second, all in favor. Thank you. It's 4. So, I think we're going to do the oath of office first for Mrs. King. And just so everybody knows tonight, Mrs. Gallo, Ms. Liberty is absent. One is travel and one had a family engagement. Mrs. Chase, do the honors.
Thank you. Hello. Hello. Repeat after me. I do solemnly swear.
And is your mic on?
You just slide it.
Here you go. I do solemnly swear.
I do solemnly swear
That I will support the Constitution of the United States.
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
And the Constitution of the State of New York.
and the Constitution of the State of New York,
And that I will faithfully discharge.
and that I will faithfully discharge
The duties of the office.
the duties of the office
Of member of the Board of Education.
of member of the Board of Education
In the Shenendehowa Central School District at Clifton Park.
in the Shenendehowa Central School District of Clifton Park, New York,
According to the best of my ability.
according to the best of my ability.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
With that, congratulations, Patrice.
Thank you so much.
And welcome. We look forward to your perspective, your experience, and commitment to serving our students, staff, and community, and we are excited to work together with you as a collaborative of the board. So, congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
All right, so kicking that off, so at this point also, I'd like to take a moment of silence for the loss that was incurred in the Shenendehowa, Shattuckon community, Shattuckon Elementary. If I could just, everybody take a moment of silence. Thank you for that. Okay, with that, let's see, we're going to, super, all right, you're going first with the announcements.
So welcome, Patrice. Oh, I need to turn my mic on. Welcome, Patrice, to our board team. I look forward to working in partnership with you along with all of our other board members. I know we've already started setting you up with all the things. We're very excited to have your nameplate even ready for this evening, but also setting up your NISPA training and your internal district board orientation. So you get the lay of the land as quickly as you can as you jump right into this position. So welcome to the team. As Deanna indicated, we went through Snowmageddon, and I would be remiss if I did not sing the praises of our grounds, maintenance and transportation teams and their leadership for their tireless work from Sunday morning until this morning to ensure that the campus was able to keep up with the snowfall and to make sure that our campus was ready to open on time today. So we really appreciate their time and attention to making sure that we were able to safely enter school today. We have 2 student presentations this evening, and I think we all at the board table get very excited when we have students at our meetings to hear about the wonderful things that they are learning and doing. And so we have the Chem Club in partnership with Skidmore College and Future Cities presenting to us this evening, and our students have worked very hard to share this information with us. In addition, we will have an update on our special education study plan, because we have focus groups that are working diligently to identify areas where we can take both short-term and long-term action to improve and continue to ensure high-quality program for special education students and staff in our system. And then finally, Ms. Carmen is unable to be here this evening. And so I will present the draft 26-27 calendar that everybody's been waiting for to see when we're starting school and when all the vacations are. And so I look forward to bringing you that update shortly. So I'll turn it back over to you.
So just to let everybody know, as we've been doing almost every meeting or every other meeting, just an update to where we are with our superintendent search. So we've come to the point now that the board as a collaborative and collective will be working with BOCES. Tomorrow, in fact, we will start our screening process for the candidates that are coming forward for that screening process. From there, the board as a collective will converse with BOCES to move forward. And as we do that step by step, I will let the community know of where we are. And we are on point and we are on task for the timeline that we set forward to be able to, our hopes is to be able to name our new superintendent in March of this year. So, more to come. And with that, I'm going to turn it back to Dr. Wilson Turner for our student presentations.
Thank you, and I'll have Ms. Lorch come up and introduce our first student presentations.
Good evening.
Patrice, do you want to grab like that chair and we'll just slide over?
So good evening, everyone. I'm very, very excited to bring the chemistry club students to the board tonight. I can tell you that this work has evolved from the sabbatical that Eric Davenport took a few years ago to work directly with researchers at Skidmore College. Since then, our students have done nothing but impress us. In fact, I do know that one of these presentations is a student-developed app, which is now being used by the research team at Skidmore. So it was something that they couldn't do as well as our kids could do, and I thought, wow, our board really needs to hear what these kids are up to. So I don't want to steal their thunder. I will turn it over to the students and have them introduce themselves as they present.
Can you give them the mic so that they can hear?
We can take that one.
It's on?
It's on.
Okay. Hi, my name is Layla Shenendehowa. I am Senior and Vice President of Chemistry Club, and I've been working with Emma Karen, along with other members on our copper chemistry research. About a year ago, we discovered how trace amounts of copper can be found in rural areas, in wells and water pumps, and this can cause neurodegenerative issues. So we decided to develop eventually an app and paper testing for this using B-group indicator, ammonium buffer, and copper. Yeah, so the end goal is accessible paper-based tests for consumers to use to test drinking water for copper contamination. So this was in partnership with our computer science team and our engineering team, which you'll hear from soon. But as far as the copper research that we've done, we measured the reaction between copper ions, copper solution, and beetroot indicator, which create a color change, which is seen in this area of the poster. These are some recent results that are consistent with what we're looking for. So we take this, hopefully linear gradient and use the color change to determine the amount of copper that's present. So the hope is for the software to be able to take these photos and identify the molarity or the concentration of copper that's present based on the color. And this is eventually how consumers will be able to use the test. But there's a lot of trial and error that went into this and the development of our standardized operating procedure. But we currently use, this might sound like nonsense to most people, but 20 microliters of our beetroot pigment with 100 microliters of copper, and the copper is at concentrations of 0, 50, 100, 200, and 300 micromolar. So these are very small trace amounts of copper because it's most useful to be testing for small amounts for consumers. If there were huge concentrations of copper in their drinking water, they would probably already know. So that's what the target audience of our testing is for. And we started with fluidic testing, but I would say that these photos are representative of where we are now. Next steps are to continue to work with the computer science team in analyzing the linearity of our results and the repeatability as we work towards achieving our long-term goals.
That's exciting. I'm just curious, are you testing our water? Is that what's your reflection of?
So right now we have to use known concentrations of copper, but the hope is that
okay.
eventually we can test water with unknown concentrations and still get reliable results.
Okay,
Yeah.
thank you.
Can someone hold it up?
Hi, I'm Tyler. I'm part of the engineering group.
Hi, I'm Kirtika and I'm part of the engineering group and a junior.
Hi, I'm Sidra and I'm also a junior, part of the engineering group. Okay, so as we said, we're all part of the engineering group, and our main goal here is to assess like microfluidic paper-based testing, and for that we use hydrophilic paper, and hydrophilic paper is printed at Skidmore, and from that we essentially try to make sure that the wax is distributed throughout the chip. So this is an example of a chip right here. It's just bubbles and like 3 units basically, and what we try to do is we find the optimal temperature and time in the oven that it takes so that the wax is fully distributed, so the liquid that we place on top of the chip will form a nice bubble rather than seeping through or like just spilling. Of course, with all of our research comes our limitations, and so one of our major limitations was the lack of precision, or like the inconsistencies that occurred with our liquid. So in order to combat that, we used foil paper and wrapped our chips neatly within them. And we use that to bake our chips so that when they come out of the oven, it is distributed very evenly so that whenever you put the liquid on top, your results are very precise and more accurate. And another limitation was the batch in which we bake. So it took us almost a year to perfect our chips because we had a small oven and only a certain amount of chips could go in at a time. And so in order to combat that, we used foil paper, and we did it repeatedly, and we took notes in our SOP, which is our notebook, and so with that we were able to determine and perfect our results.
So Sidra mentioned our SOP, and that's just our standard operating procedure. What that means is we've created these guidelines to get consistent results with baking every time. That includes variables like oven temperature, whether the chips are facing upwards or downwards, how many we can have, whether they should be wrapped in aluminum or not, and other things. But that is where we were at last year, and this year we started to move on a bit from that and go in actual testing with what color dyes we should use. We have these light boxes we've also designed last year that we take pictures of the chips in and look at that with the student-made app. And this year we created a second light box, which is black versus our white one from last year. And we've been looking at which color, dye, and concentration works best in which light box.
The significance of our light box is in order to get the pictures properly. So our analysis, or like the website in which we analyze our things, or not things, in which we analyze our chips, We use our light boxes in order to measure the color accurately because the machine learning / AI tool that we use isn't able to, or wasn't previously able to perfectly get the color because it's still in training. However, with the light box, the white and the black one, we've been able to determine and get results that has minimal reflections or any other variabilities that could affect the accuracy of our analysis. Okay, thank you so much. This was our engineering side.
My name is Jerry, and along with Hassan Bani and Brady Chen, we make up the computer science section of Chem Club. And we've developed a computer vision-based program to assist in any sort of microfluidics regarding color change. So before, what someone would have to have done is manually take a picture of these chips, upload it to a program like Adobe Lightroom, and individually pick out the colors and then plot it on a spreadsheet. So this results in a lot of wasted time, as it can take minutes to do one set of chips, and all that time is spent doing menial work like importing it into a spreadsheet. So what our program has done is it uses math to locate circles in any given picture, find the colors automatically, and plot it onto a spreadsheet. Meaning at scale, this can save a significant amount of time. Instead of putting it onto a spreadsheet, it does it for you. So over the summer, me and Hassan, we worked with Skidmore College, and we saw how over the course of many weeks, when this is being repeated hundreds of times, this can be a significant help to actual researchers. So we focused on accessibility for this program. All of our code is published on our website, and it's also open source, meaning anyone from anywhere can download it or modify it as they please if they think there's something that can be improved. And it doesn't require any Wi-Fi, so you can do it from literally anywhere as long as you have the pictures you need. One major thing we want to work on going forward is machine learning. So right now, as some of our previous members have mentioned, we need known values to guess future values. So our hope is with enough training data, we're able to, for specific things like copper, we're able to train a machine learning model to predict things without known values. So someone can just take a picture of the setup and get accurate predictions of what the concentrations are. Thank you.
Alright, hello everyone. My name is John McClay, and I'm a junior and the secretary of Chem Club.
Hi everyone, my name is Nitya Bajaj, and I'm a senior, and I'm the president of Chem Club. So to start, what our research project focused on was the detection of lead in solution. And this is actually an old project that we worked on around 2 years ago, but our hope for the future is to continue working on this with the knowledge and skills that we've learned from our other projects, such as copper. So to start, why did we even decide to detect lead? Well, as you all probably know, lead is a very toxic heavy metal, and when ingested, it's definitely not good for your health. However, it's been found that in certain substances, lead levels are exceedingly high. For example, this applesauce that was found by the FDA to have too high levels of lead that were unsafe for consumers. However, when you're just tasting a product or drinking some water, you don't know how much lead is in that substance. You can only really find out if you have access to some fancy equipment, expensive chemicals, and the technology needed to actually detect that substance. But our goal with this project was to create a portable, accessible, and affordable solution that people can use to actually accurately detect lead concentrations.
Alright, so the way that we did this is that we used these reagents for detection of lead. So we used gallic acid and gold nanoparticles, which were suspended in solution. And generally, when these two chemicals are just by themselves, the way that they interact gives off this purplish color. But when you put in the lead, it causes, it reacts with the gallic acid, and this causes a different interaction, which leads to a different color to be reflected out to your eyes. So even though this isn't a very significant color change, we can use technology like the previous app that we have just made to detect it. And so this is one of our earlier pictures, and as you can see, it's not very, there isn't a lot of color change, but eventually we were able to find a better color change, where this one shows it going from a lighter color with no lead to a darker color with a lot of lead. And this was how we were able to get a detectable color change before we started analysis.
So when we were analyzing, we were looking at different values that we could measure in order to see what we could use to actually kind of plot a linear regression from this data and use it to detect unknown concentrations of lead. So for example, we plotted RGB values because we wanted to see the change between different lead concentrations. And if you can kind of tell, but the blue RGB value actually changed the most and showed the most linearity when we plotted it, which indicates to us that maybe there's a correlation between lead concentration and the blue RGB value. So that's something that we could use when creating our own calibration curve to determine the concentration. We also used a colorimeter to measure absorbance values, and on the left here, this is absorbance of violet wavelengths of light versus red wavelengths of light on the other end, and the blue line represents the zero concentration of lead, whereas the orange line represents the 2 parts per million. And so you can see that as lead concentration increased, there is a redshift observed in the absorbance values. So it absorbs more red wavelengths of light. So these are all different variables we can measure and use in softwares like the one previously mentioned to detect lead.
So when we pick up this project again, we hope to make a couple of changes. So first, we want to try to move it from doing the tests in the plastic containers to moving this on paper like the copper is currently on. And we also want to start to try using the new app that our programming team has modeled so that we can get more accurate data. Thank you.
Nice work. Nice
Can I just
presentation.
ask a question? Yeah. So over all these presentations, how much time does the students work on all this work? Like how much of their day, of their academic week is spent working on this?
So the students actually do this after school. This isn't part of a class. They show up every Tuesday and Thursday from about 2:45 to about 4 o'clock. So it's actually, it sounds like a lot of time, but to get some meaningful work done in the research setting, you gotta be working pretty hard, pretty efficiently.
Yeah.
We have about 15 to 20 students showing up every Tuesday and Thursday to do this extracurricular research, kind of for fun. So it's a great group of kids. This is our 3rd year, and we're looking to keep the momentum going by recruiting younger students to join us. We'll start with 9th graders, whether they have experience with learning chemistry yet or not. we'll train them what they need to know.
Yeah, this is a very impressive group, one. Two, I also want to mention your presentation skills. Set aside the very complicated detail that you just presented. Your presentation skills were outstanding, and so I want to compliment you on that, because that is something that is difficult when you start speaking in front of people, especially if you are doing that. So congratulations, well done.
Thank you.
You guys all stay right there so I can take a picture.
And while Brooke does that, I'll say, remember their names and faces, because they are solving the world's problems today.
This is college, I mean, this is college level
Got it,
stuff.
thank you.
It's absolutely
Honestly,
college level
it is.
research.
It's college level research, for sure.
So I will add that Mr. Davenport shared with me before the presentation that all of the experimentation is things that they go to the grocery store and buy. They're not getting special equipment. They're using what they have at home, what's here at school, what they can go buy from the store. It's really impressive what they did. Like the beet juice for detecting the copper. I mean, that's just brilliant. So, thank you, Deanna, I agree.
So next, we will have our future cities demonstration. Ms. Betsweiser, do you want to give us a little context? And as you're walking up, I want to say thank you for your continued commitment to this project.
How many years?
24.
God bless you, that's awesome.
You mean since retirement?
What?
Since retirement or no?
No, I started when I started in teaching 8th grade
Okay.
in 95.
Okay.
It was a new program, and I thought it was very important that the students learn how to put together a city, the infrastructure, all the complications, all of the different things that you could possibly think about in a city. And this is what Future City does. They have to write an essay with a good number of words, and then they have to make the city and think about the infrastructure, and then they have to present it. So they're learning many different skills. I mean, we have electricians here, we have builders here, we have essay writers, and it's all things that they'll use all through their lives. So I really feel this is a good program. Mr. Slinsky has been doing it for 22 years, and I got him started. But the kids are the real pieces of the thing. So if Mr. Slinsky's group would like to come and show their city. Okay.
Just like the whole table.
Get it. Just put it right here, so the audience can see.
Yeah, there we go.
Okay, and Mr. Slinsky, you want to say something?
Okay, good evening, everyone. I'm not used to this. Joe Slawinski, nice to meet you. So, our team worked on the city of Chicago 100 years in the future. I'll let them tell you a little bit about it, but our problem this year is dealing with farm to table. So the idea is having local foods grown right in the city limits itself, minimal transportation. You know, the club is very big on alternative energies and recycled materials, so this is our solution to that problem this year. Okay.
Hello, my name is Chair Dixon, and I'm in 7th grade, and I'm from Coda.
I'm Mohammed Mahnoor. I'm in 6th grade, and I'm from Coda.
Tell them what you did. Tell them what you did on the.
So basically, the problem we're trying to solve is to reduce food waste. So a way we've come up with that is to make giant compost bins so that people can put their food waste into the compost bins, which can then, over a few months or years, I don't know how long it takes for compost to be made, turn into fertile soil, which can then be used for agriculture, which then provides a surplus amount of crops, which feeds the whole city. And then after they're done eating with the food, they can throw their scraps away into the compost bin, and the cycle keeps repeating.
So for our energy, we decided to mainly focus on solar and wind. And
let's just say those doesn't work, we have water energy to, back it up, yeah.
So Chicago has a lot of air pollution. So to also reduce that, we have genetically modified enlarged sunflowers to reduce the pollution in the air. So sunflowers are known to take out a lot of carbon dioxide out of the air. So we have one here so that it can take the carbon dioxide off the buildings and in the city, the main part, and another one there for like the bottom part.
So for transportation, we have two things. One, we have train tracks that are made of solar panels, so we don't, release harmful stuff into the air, because who likes that? And then our team had the innovative idea to make solar-powered gondolas. So basically, for people who are scared of heights, as you can see, we have one that's not covered in solar panels, but the other one is. So basically, we can have like holographic, images, the thing. So like, you can see other stuff instead of staring out into the sky.
Another thing, during the night when there's no sun, or let's just say that in the day it's cloudy, so there's batteries in the roads which can help transport the food from here into the trains, which can be sent to different cities. So that's like how our economy works. So like we grow a lot of food and we transport it to other cities. It gives us benefit and the others benefit, because we don't want like too much food in our city. So that, because if we have too much food, they'll go all to waste, and then we don't want to waste food. That's the problem we're trying to solve. So it'll go to the other cities, and we'll get lots of money from that. So we'll be rich, and we can do whatever else we want.
So if you didn't know this already, we have plants on top of our buildings for vertical farming. So as you can see, not only it'll help the environment, but it also looks cool, as you can see. Yeah.
What did you guys like the best about the city, making it, or the essay, or designing it?
We did not like the essay, that's for sure. Like the thing we really liked was like coming up with good ideas to like solve the problem. So like we didn't really think about having a lot of farm here. We thought of having it up here, but then we realized that we could have a big city up here and then farm down here. And then another thing we enjoyed building were these gondolas. It was very stressful at first because we had to not make it hit the ground, which was never solved. So it keeps hitting the ground. So yeah. And also building the sunflowers out of Lego was fun.
So if you're wondering what that big thing is, it's actually a stadium. So basically, it can be used for like a lot of events. Like for example, like sports, games, field trips, maybe sometimes even education. Like, and also people can gather around there to like hang out with friends, maybe host events sometimes. It's like where all the city gathers, like a town hall, for example.
Here we have farm-to-table market. So under here would be where the markets are and where people could exchange their food for free. And some parts are solar power, so that they can exchange foods in the night, and they have lights to show the food. And they could also like make stuff in there, bake together, cook together. I don't know.
So yeah, for details, as you can see, we have like lakes, farms. Yeah, that's basically it.
Are those real plants?
No, these
I
are not.
can't tell from here.
We're not allowed to have real plants.
Oh, you're not?
It's
Okay.
like turf.
No, I was just thinking on the bottom, it looked like something was growing out of those trays, so, yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's a good visual.
So this is one city, this is Dakota City. And if you know of anybody who's interested in doing this, the capital region is looking for more cities from all the different groups. so I just wanted to put that in. Okay, now we're gonna go to the Acadia and Luana.
Just to let people know, Future Cities is corporate sponsored, it's not really through Shen. And the students here at a young age are meeting and being judged by actual engineers in the field.
And they have
So that's
48
a great,
engineers in the last.
great benefit, great way to build a resume.
And Shen doesn't have to pay a thing for, everything is paid for, it's free, it's a free program, so we're good. Okay. Griff, I'll put you in charge of those. Griffin is a senior, or ninth grade, eighth grader, he's gonna leave us, but this is his third year doing this. Okay, Joe, you want to? Joe,
Griffin is a busy
talk.
Which is also
This is a heavier city.
Hello, I'm Maloney. I'm in 8th grade. This is my third year of Future Cities, as Ms. Windsor told you, and I come from Gowan.
So I am Lucas Yang. I'm in 6th grade and I go to Acadia.
My name is Calvin Baxter. I'm in 7th grade and I go to Coda.
Tell them what you did and what you liked.
So, personally, what we did was we designed a city that was efficient at getting, that was efficient at reducing food waste. For instance, so we made a two-layered city. So in general, a two-layered city is something I've always wanted for Future Cities. But aside from that, the first layer of the city, which is above ground, is used for farming and the airport. Underground is where the actual city lays. This is where everyone lives, shops, and does all their normal city stuff.
So, these are compost bins. Like the other city, we go farm to table, then back to compost bin, and back to farms. Farming goes down this elevator to the city below. All the people throw their scraps away, and the robots take them back up to the compost bins. Compost bins turn into mulch and fertilizer is used on the farms.
So our power sources, we have solar panels all up here, and then down here we have a backup power source, hydroelectric plant, just in case it was cloudy or something like that.
Along with this, in the solar panels, which already generate us energy, we also have sheep living amongst them. This is because the sheep can graze on the grass around the solar panels without worry that they're going to say, chew on the wires. The solar panels also provide the sheep protection. The sheep can also be farmed for wool and mutton.
Tell them what you like the best.
I liked building the model the best and putting everything together, and yeah.
He's our electrician.
The favorite thing that I like about the city is just using recycled pieces of junk and turning it into fun and a really good looking city in my opinion.
My favorite thing about this is writing the essay and the presentation because I find that words are so much more easily used than actual materials.
Very good. Hey, thank you. And as I say, if anybody knows if anybody's interested, please get a hold of Mr. Slinsky. He's in Coda, so.
Do you mean, you're looking for more students or?
Yes.
Oh, more students.
Yeah,
For
'cause
next
how many
year.
cities?
I'd love to get an Acadia. We used to have an Acadia,
Yeah.
Coda, and a
I
Gowan.
remember a lot more cities.
Well, what's the timing on this?
Well, this year we started a little bit late, but usually we start in September and go till January.
Usually mid-January.
7th,
Yeah,
something like that.
So you're talking about next September?
For next year.
okay.
But actually, we're gonna find out what the cities are gonna be in May, so I was even thinking about doing something about that. Okay, Any questions from the board?
No,
Great job.
yeah, again, you know, sustainability is huge.
The only thing is I don't say how you remove the snow. I'm just wondering. Where is the snow? Oh, these are cities not in, oh, I saw the mountains, that's why I was thinking snow for this one. I'm sorry.
That's fine.
Okay, thank you very much.
Great job. Thank you.
And next, I'll ask Ms. Hazelton to come up with an overview of our special education study.
Can we just get a picture?
Oh, the kids.
Maybe they can all go up. Yeah, can we just put them right back there with them? That's great.
We're being paid back. Okay, you guys have to too. They want a picture. Yeah, seriously, stand from here.
They're very colorful.
They are lovely.
All right, everybody looking.
We have a lot of insulation, so the house stays cool in the summer.
Got it.
It's amazing.
Thank you so much.
Great job, guys. Did you want me to move back, or should I just, whatever you want?
Whatever you feel like.
I'll just hang.
Hang on. Cool.
We're not abandoning you, Patrice.
Yeah,
Really
sorry.
not. She's abandoning you.
One island.
I'm kidding.
Naomi, Diego, the junior, you have to call me when?
April 18th.
April.
Yes.
I'll be in.
Oh, okay. I'm actually making a note right now.
Good evening.
Good evening.
I'm really wishing I was able to present first because those were some tough acts to follow. So I put together a presentation to give you an outline of really where we're at along the special education program review and really basically our action plan. Go to the next slide, please. So we have, we developed 4 different subcommittees, and these were developed to align with our district goals. So you can see we have organizational culture, personnel and professionalism, school and classroom practices, and fiscal responsibility. For organizational culture, the co-facilitators are Matt Davis and Tamara Dorsey. Personnel, oh, and actually Sheriff Rachi has joined that organizational culture too as a facilitator. Personnel and professionalism has Vicki Wild and Anna Contursi. School and classroom practices has Sarah Schneller, Rachel Mann, and Jill Barker. And fiscal responsibility is myself and Cassandra Higgins. These teams have 24 STA members, 8 CSEA members, 13 SAW members, 3 DLST, and 1 DASS member from across the district. We just wanted to make sure that we had a good compilation of the stakeholders. So the key charge to all the teams was to analyze the findings from the special education program review, define the desired state, develop action steps, engage all the stakeholders, and then report and recommend to our final recommendations to Dr. Wilson-Turner. And our plan is to have those recommendations in February. I'm leaving it a little bit vague because there's lots of work to be done. So our 3-year strategic roadmap, you see for organizational culture, so year 1 is really looking at where are we currently, and looking, that information came from the special education program review, and then within key actions, what we plan to do and what our final destination is, right, in year 3. So for organizational culture, our current landmark is that the ownership was considered to be inconsistent and collaboration uneven. So our final destination would be all staff share responsibility for all students and a culture of positive, respectful collaboration. Personnel and professionalism, it was reported out that the roles seem to be compliance heavy, and PD is not always aligned to the needs. So with the specific key actions, our destination would be balanced leadership roles, targeted PD, and structured support for all staff. For school and classroom practices, We were looking at the 21% graduation gap and inconsistent MTSS and integrated co-teach implementation. And we're obviously our destination would be to get to consistent, high-quality practices that narrow achievement gaps. Fiscal responsibility, it was reported that we are spending above state targets and the eligibility for aid support is unclear. So we're hoping to get to the point where we have efficient, transparent, and equitable use of all resources. So year one, our action focus. So organizational culture, the identified needs that came out from the review and from our subcommittees have identified that we want to build on shared ownership, strengthen continuum of services practices, enhance structure for collaboration, improve communication and problem solving, and then revise CSE process to be more inclusive, and then strengthen also the CPSE to CSE transitions. Personnel and professionalism, the identified need was to restructure central office roles to balance compliance and leadership, expand PD offerings and embed it in orientation, review and refine eligibility and exit criteria for services and aid support, and strengthen mentoring and support for new special education staff. In regards to school and classroom practices, the review and the special ed subcommittees identified that we need to implement with fidelity the MTSS practices K-12, review and redefine self-contained program descriptions to align with current learner profiles, reinvest in the fidelity of collaborative teaching models, strengthen literacy interventions, and then systematically address transitions as far as like vertical articulation teams, make sure that we're all on the same page going up through the grade levels. Fiscal responsibility, we want to review and communicate existing criteria for allocating teacher aid supports, benchmark expenditures against peers to inform strategic management, ensure regular review of contracted services for ongoing cost effectiveness, and explore sustainable revenue sources, for example, like Medicaid. Our committees did find that there were some challenges along the way that kind of came up in the conversations. The first couple times the subcommittees met, it was very much like almost like a brainstorming effort, right? And very candid, like tell us what you think is the issue, right? We really wanted to hear from every stakeholder what they really thought were the challenges and the best route to go forward. So one of the challenges was for MTSS, basically that it's inconsistent across the buildings and that impacts student referrals and supports. And so the plan is to basically charge with standardizing MTSS K-12 as a top priority for year one. The other challenge they came up with was like the broad scope of culture. That subcommittee noted that it's just so broad that it's difficult to be actionable. So they're breaking it down to really concrete actions, like establishing blended PLCs, defining co-teaching expectations, and improving CSE communication protocols. And then the last challenge that was noted was stakeholder voice. How do we ensure that all parties involved in recommended changes are heard? With that, they're developing specific plans for ongoing stakeholder engagement as action steps are all implemented. So as you can see, we're continue to commit to excellence, every student, every opportunity, every day. And this was a quote from the special education program review. Any questions? That's a lot. It's a rolling. Yes, it's a lot. It's a lot of work to get done in a short period of time. But again, a 3-year plan to really try to get it implemented and rolling.
I just want to take a minute and highlight the partnership that has to happen for this work to be done well. And so we intentionally paired our special education academic administrators with our district level supervisors, so Vicki, Matt, Sarah, and Brianne, in partnership with Jill, with Cher, with Tamara, with Rachel, and with Anna, so that they could think together about what special education looks like, because the first target on this plan is how we all take responsibility for our special education students and not see it as something separate and apart. And so it was an intentional approach to the work as well as the intentional approach to bring the stakeholders from each represented group. And I want to commend our stakeholders from CSCA, STA, and SOC because it's a significant amount of time that they are giving up to be in a space, to have conversations, and to ensure that the ideas and things that they are seeing on the ground are represented in the work that we're able to move forward. And so I've had an opportunity to just pop in and sit for a few minutes and listen to some of the small group work that is happening. And I was just incredibly proud of the conversations because they are both honest and productive at the same time, right? And so things like this can become a place where people just think about all the things that we haven't gotten right versus really looking at the things that we do well in other arenas and leveraging them better, looking at all the things that we have written that we now need to make sure people are able to action in a consistent way. And so really taking it from an opportunities-based approach to really make a shift that we feel both in year one with the changes we're able to make and really thoughtfully, as Ms. Hazelton mentioned, in year three, because we know that this is work that will take us time. And it'll work, honestly, that will never stop, right? If we are truly committed to excellence, we will continue to look at what our programming looks like, how we revise and change it and improve it so that all of our students, families, and staff involved with our special education students are able to feel success that we want them to. So I really do commend the team and the time that they've taken to invest in doing this right.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, it does seem like consistency in communication, right, are like two themes here. And that's something that you start and then you continue and then you continue and then you continue, right?
Yeah.
So, but
especially in an organization this large, right? You think of all the places information has to get to, all the different ways it could be translated. It really becomes an opportunity for us to think of ways to do that better. What am I doing wrong?
I've never looked better.
I can't plug in anywhere, but an extension cord.
You know, this,
Okay.
yeah.
It's gonna go on me. It said I have 2 hours, right? That's
It's a
28%.
You can lower the brightness, or sometimes it works.
We'll see. It does great. It's pretty low. Okay, and I also want to thank Interim Deputy Superintendent McKenna for her leadership with the team, pulling all of these pieces together for the special education review on the ground. So thank you for that. And so we'll move into our draft 2026-27 calendar. And here it is. So the big questions were, when will the children start school? Will it be after Labor Day? And the answer is yes. It'll be the first day after Labor Day that the children return to school. However, because Labor Day is so late and we have a certain number of school days that we have to get into our calendar, we are starting our superintendent's conference day the Thursday before Labor Day. So staff will come back on the 3rd and students will come back on the 8th. Some things to make note of, in addition to those 2 items, are Lunar New Year falls on a holiday weekend, and so it's not something we have to observe. Juneteenth as well, depending on the day of the week in which it falls, determine whether it has to be observed during the week. So that's why they will not be here, but they will of course be noted in our cultural calendar. We have a March 10th Superintendent's Conference Day that we will not be aligned with BOCES this year, but we will make arrangements so that our students are able to attend on the day that BOCES open and that we are not. We can't always make that match up perfectly. Grade 3 through 8 New York State assessments, that has really changed for schools now that it is a CBT exam and the window has a lot more flexibility. So those dates will be added a little bit later once confirmed. Then we're able to design assessment dates at each level that work best for each level within that window. And I already mentioned that Juneteenth falls on a holiday. We still have the Wednesday before Thanksgiving in our calendar. We're still able to fit that in as a result of starting before Labor Day with Superintendent's Conference Day on the 3rd, and thus still able to reach our 184 school days. We typically fall between 183 and 186. That gives us enough school days to have Snowmageddon and the potential hot days that we've added to our lexicon in schools until we're able to bring air conditioning fully on board throughout the district. Any questions?
Oh, so the break is at the end of March, the spring recess?
Yes.
Okay.
Because of where?
Okay, no questions.
When's Easter? Where's Easter on the calendar? Sorry.
Is the It's the 26th is going to be the Good Friday, which we're required by contract to give, so it's gonna be the 28th for
I
Easter.
see. So Easter starts,
It's,
the,
yeah,
the spring break.
that's why I backed up.
Yeah,
It's usually that way. It's been that way for a long time.
yeah, and Easter switches out so much, so the spring break is different.
And what we noticed today was that we no longer have the alternating half-day schedules for AM and PMK on our calendar.
Wow.
This is the last year of that.
So the last day
That's the reason why
for
there's so much white space.
school, yeah.
So remember, we have a last day of school for K-5, and then a last day of school for 6-12 staff. They're different.
Right.
So there isn't one singular last day. Graduation should be on the 25th. Okay. So it'll be brought back next meeting for your final approval. Oh, I know, it's coming.
Oh, the full day K.
No,
Graduation.
Oh, graduation, oh my goodness,
Yeah.
yes, for next year. Big day, big year.
Okay. All set, thank you.
And we'll get, at this point though, I'm gonna let the students go if they have anything they wanted to talk about from Senate or Eric, if you wanted to. Or wants to go first?
For this, I don't really have much to say other than like, the midterms are over, and now that the students are in the second semester, that's it, yeah.
Not much from SFA either because of the long period we've had with nothing going on. There was just midterms. We are still selling tickets for the snowball dance, which is again on February 7th from 6:30 to 9:30 p.m.
The PTSA committee within the Senate is also still working on our mental health awareness event, which is now moved to May 29th because we didn't want it on May 15th because that is at the end of AP exams and that's just like a lot going on for students. So it is now moved to May 29th. Also, the SFA Senate originally had a field trip planned for today, but Snowmageddon canceled it. But we were lucky enough to have select students be able to go on Google Meet with Mrs. Headwell to like talk to representatives over. So we met with Representative Mr. Miller, and we also met with the staff person of Jim Tedisco. So it really, even if we weren't be able to be there in person, we still like got to do some lobbying and some activism for free meals, which we were very hopeful, and we think that we are going to again have it in the budget for this year. That's all.
It's great, great resourceful. I'm glad you could do that. Okay, moving on to action items, we'll put the contracts up first. Demco is the furniture for Etrea, and it is a long list, but much needed, so we have to do it. Is there a motion? Petra's first, Naomi is second. All in favor? Motion passes, thank you. And then ECS Mid-Atlantic is part of our capital budget for the abatement in our middle schools. What we need to be doing with that, which we already approved, so can I get a motion to approve? The motion. Petra, okay, good, Patrice is first, no, Petra second, all in favor? Motion passes, thank you, awesome. And then our staffing recommendations.
So Ms. McKenna is going to come up because Ms. Leha isn't able to be here this evening.
In my boots.
They're still cute. Fabulous, fabulous, I should use.
Okay, so I have a staffing agenda in front of you for your consideration and approval tonight. And I do want to make a special note that included in the agenda, we are pleased to make a recommendation to appoint Amy Cruel as our new transportation director. So once you approve and adopt this resolution and agenda, I will ask Amy to come up and introduce herself and go around the table.
That's fantastic. Glad, that was not bad. Thank you,
Yeah,
Al.
way to
Yeah,
go.
way to go. But I would be amiss to say, Al's the true mentor and stepped in and came in and helped, but I'm looking forward to the next chapter as well. So that's huge. Can I get a motion? Carla's first, Naomi is second, all in favor.
It's exciting.
Motion passes.
Natalie, I would like to have you join us. Alex is retired, right?
I don't know what else. Congratulations.
Well,
Oh, I look forward to it.
wow.
You're great. Thank you very much.
Congratulations. Thank you so much.
Bill Stack. Yeah.
Let's stick around.
Yeah.
That's good.
He's been
Huge
very good.
congratulations, Amy.
Thank you so much.
And then from there, we're going to, for the good of the order, does anybody want to have any comments for tonight? Patrice, for the good of the order, what we usually do, if you've watched them, just something, some shout outs, or even some comments. If you just want to fling it out, I'm not going to put you on the spot, but if you have anything, okay?
I don't.
Okay.
I want to say welcome. It's good to have you. It's very good to have you because we're missing two people. But also, I'm really looking forward to what you have to say the coming months. It's going to be a very exciting process. Electing the new superintendent is going to be very interesting, a lot of fun. I also wanted to reiterate what Eric said. I'm really glad that midterms are over because I had a very stressed 10th grader in my house. Chem and social studies and all the things. So this is better. The start of the third quarter is so much better. Otherwise, everybody stay safe and as long as you can. Thank you.
So I also want to welcome Patrice and also her family that came out to support you tonight. I think it's a big thing because they're taking this on too, right? It's not just your journey. I think it is an exciting time to be here, just as Petra pointed out, to be part of selecting our next superintendent. It's something that is just so very important, and I'm happy to have you here at the table. I also, I'll share that right before the meeting I mentioned to her that I'd like to invite her to one of the, or to as many as she wants to, PTAs or other committees that I'm on if she wants to sit in and watch and participate, with me. And what I'll do is, just so that in full disclosure, I'll share it with you. I'll send an email to the, I'll share it with you first, Deanna. And then if you could just respond back, but just so that you can get right in there and get to work and just learn as much as possible and feel at home. I think we're just very excited to have you. I also wanted to remind everybody, please come this weekend if you can to the robotics event in the middle school. One of our young men that was over there talking about what the future cities, he is on a team that is already advancing, but he's going to be here this weekend helping out. And so I just love showcasing our kids. But I wanted to mention that because Mrs. Betzwieser reminded me, is on April 18th, our elementary schools get to be showcased. And it's already looking as if we're going to have more teams than last year. And last year we had 33 teams. So it's going to be a very exciting event. It's going to be a full house. We'll be at High School West, but it's Saturday, April 18th. I also wanted the board to know that I was nominated and I accepted the nomination for the NISBA Resolutions Committee. And so for the next couple of years, I will be on that committee reviewing the resolutions that are submitted by school districts and then voted on.
Oh, nice.
So that was something that was a pleasant surprise. That will start this summer, I think, when I'm going to be sent the timeline. But you know how our board has submitted resolutions and that committee reviews them and then they make a recommendation and whether they accept them or not, as you've seen. And then that goes back out. And then that's, it's completely separate from Shen. And so just wanted to be forthcoming with that. And I'm looking forward to seeing our elected officials on February 9th. That's very exciting that that's back. That's really it. That's everything. I know it's a lot, but thank you for your time.
And I don't have anything, because you said it all. That's great. I'm looking forward to the February 9th thing too.
The what?
To talk to the legislators.
Lobbying desk.
Yeah. I usually don't really like the lobbying, but they've made some changes in how they handle it. So that you actually get to talk to people, not just their assistants who just take the notes, So that'll be good, it'll be a good day.
We might get incident, you never know. If there's an emergency, every now and then that happens, but
Yeah.
you're right.
All right, and with that, I'll make a motion to close the meeting. Adjourn? I get a motion. Petrus first, Carly second, all in favor? Meeting ends.
Thank you.